Have you ever wondered why some people can make far more money than others, even when they seem to work just as hard? The difference isn't always how hard you work. Sometimes it's about how the deal is structured and who is actually taking the risk. At the most basic level, there are only a few ways people get money. You can steal it, inherit it, marry into it, or trade something valuable for it. And for most people, that last one is the game. You give someone something they value, and they give you money in return. But here's where it gets interesting. Not every exchange is structured the same way. There are different levels of leverage in how you get paid. And the higher you move, the less your income has to depend directly on the number of hours you work. Level 1 is simple. I work, then you pay me. That's the traditional employee model. You work your hours, and your company pays you a salary or wage. The advantage is reliability, but the downside is that your income is strongly connected to your time. Level 2 is different. Instead of working first and waiting until everything is finished, you get paid as the work happens. Think about freelancers, contractors, or agencies. You might receive a deposit, then another payment when you reach a milestone, and the final payment when the project is completed. This gives you more flexibility and potentially more income than a traditional job. But there's still a trade-off. Your clients may only stay for a short period, so you're constantly responsible for finding the next project. More freedom doesn't automatically mean less risk. Now, level 3 becomes more interesting. Instead of saying, I'll do the work and then you pay me, you say, pay me first, then I'll do the work. This is where leverage starts becoming more important because you're no longer financing the customer's project with your own time and resources. So imagine your service costs $600,000, but a customer says they can't afford it today. Instead of discounting, you could let them pay $50,000 each month and begin the work after they've completed the payment. They get a way to afford it while you don't start working before you've been paid. For example, instead of telling a client, pay me $500,000 to manage your ads for 3 months, you could structure the agreement around the result. Maybe you receive a percentage of the revenue you help generate, a performance bonus, equity, or a payment when a specific milestone is achieved. Why outcomes can be more valuable than hours? Imagine you can solve a problem in 30 minutes because you've spent years developing the skill while someone else needs 30 days to figure it out. If you're paid by the hour, you're rewarded for 30 minutes. But if you're paid for the outcome, you're rewarded for the value of solving the problem. And there's another important detail. If you're taking a percentage of a business, revenue can sometimes be easier to structure around than profit. Why? Because profit can change depending on expenses. Revenue is the top line, so the calculation is often much easier to understand and verify. Level 5 gets even more interesting. Instead of simply getting paid for your work or your results, you're getting paid for taking on a risk that someone else doesn't want to carry. Think about insurance. People pay premiums because they want someone else to carry the financial risk if something goes wrong. You see a similar idea with warranties, guarantees, and protection plans. You pay for protection against something that might happen in the future. If nothing happens, the company still collected the payment. The business is essentially being compensated for accepting a risk that the customer doesn't want to carry. Then there's level 6. You get paid no matter what. The extreme example is government tax collection, where payment can be legally required. A more practical business example is a payment processor. The money passes through its system, and its fee is automatically taken before the rest reaches the business. But here's the real lesson. This isn't about taking stupid risks. It's about understanding risk better than everyone else. When other people see something as dangerous, but you have the knowledge and systems to manage it, that risk may be mispriced. And that's where real leverage and extraordinary opportunities can exist.